Let's talk about the two foams that we use in the fire industry today. We have our Class A and then our Class B foams, which is the AFFF, aqueous film forming foam. What is the primary difference between these foams? I had a chemist explain to me, he said, Greg, it's very simple. He goes, your Class A foam is attracted to your hydrocarbons. Your Class B foams are not attracted at all to your hydrocarbons. Think of Class A as soap and water. They mix, they come together. Think of your Class B foams as oil and water. They separate, they do not like each other. So the reason a Class A foam is attracted, they call it a wetting agent. It's one of the, it's supposed to soak into the wood. Okay, your Class B here is repelling it, so it floats to the top of your hydrocarbons, like your fuel, your diesel fuels, your gas, your flammable liquids. So what you're doing is you're forming a very thin layer here, which you're doing to keep the vapors from exhaling the liquid or the hydrocarbon you're doing. So you're putting this foam over it, it's floating to the top, and it's now creating a very thin layer. There's a lot of times you can't even see this real thin membrane of this foam. So you're separating. That's the reason you don't want to walk on a treated area, because you can break this skin of this foam. To get your classifications on your B foams, you've got a lot of different B foams. And a lot of these B foams that's coming out now is alcohol resistant, to help put out an alcohol fire. Don't make a mistake, alcohol will break down this foam in a period of time. It isn't one of them foams that will last 30 minutes or an hour or whatever. You're going to have to find out from your manufacturer how long this will do it. And they're not going to be able to teach you or tell you exactly what it's going to be. For instance, to get your rating for your alcohol, what they do is they fill a container up. And you've got, in this container, and you mix up your mix, you've got basically, I think it's 10 minutes to put this fire out, or 5 minutes. I can't remember the time period, but you put this fire out. And then they're going to sit there and say, okay, you got this fire out. Is it treated? And they're going to say yes. So what they're going to do is they're going to take a fire and wand over the top of it and see if it'll flash back up. For 15 minutes, it's got to prevent flashing back up. And if it does flash, it's got to go right back out. But that's what it's holding back. But after 15 minutes, that's it. So this alcohol will break this down. Alcohol breaks down a Class B foam pretty fast. But the difference, here's the difference. I got to sit there and turn my CAF system on here. Okay, we've got this foam and we have sprayed it over this hydrocarbon. Okay, an alcohol is going to break this down. It might break it down a little bit faster than your B. You don't know. But what we're doing is we're mixing it with air and we're making a thin layer. Instead of a real thin layer here, we're making this layer thicker. Okay, I was on a fire ground and we had the fire pit there and they put alcohol in it and we lit it off and I put the fire out, put it out rapidly. And one of the firemen walked up there and after we had it out, the foam is floating over the top of it and stuff. It's white, it's still white, it's covered. And I said, okay, here you are. And he goes, but you've overwhelmed it. You put so much on so fast. And I go, that's what we're supposed to do. I said, but I have used a lot less material of A foam than you would have with B foam. And I'm covered. Plus your B foam is being mixed with water. What's heavier, water or oil? That's where you're trying to get it to separate to come back up there. You're trying to lighten it up to get it above your hydrocarbon stuff. This is automatically on top, just instantly. You cover it up, it's instantly. So that's the difference in here. Now, on the foam systems on a truck, I am going to really, really push. I don't like putting dual systems on a truck. Because if you have a dual system on a truck, it's coming down here and there's a valve right here, and then it's going on into your foam systems. If these two foams get together in any manner, they're going to gel on you. And when they gel on you, you're going to get this slug in here, and it's going to mess up your foam systems. You don't even have to have this foam system on. You don't even have to have this truck started. Somebody goes up there and they grab this valve and they just rotate it. Turn it to B, then turn it back to A. You'll practice it. We're supposed to exercise our valves, right? We do not exercise this foam valve here, because when you did that, you have just contaminated those foams. You got a little bit of foam, it's got mixed together there. So now we've got a slug inside this, and it's going into our system. So we plug up a system. Now our system isn't working. Why? What's the deal? Well, you got the two foams together. No, we didn't. We've never done that. We flush our system. No. What about that guy that came in here and was exercising a valve and nobody else knew about it? And you're not going to get anybody to admit that they exercised that valve when you're having trouble. So what I suggest on all departments is put on just an A system and carry it just as an A foam. But your protocol or the insurance or whatever is saying we are going to carry B and A on this truck. Oh, we got to carry B foam. They're going to say, okay, we're going to carry just this B foam. We're going to forget the A foam. Your B foam is higher priced, and it is not recognized for a cast system, and it's not a good cast foam. It's designed to separate with the water and float to the top and stuff. So your B foam will work in a cast system. It doesn't work as well as the A foam. Plus, how many times do you really need this B foam? You got to think of your expense and stuff too. So what I recommend doing to a truck is put this A foam into your system. This B foam, you carry it in your containers, in your little jugs up there, and carry it. Then when you get onto a fire scene, you initially start attacking with this A foam. Okay, we're going to need to set up this B foam with our inductor system. We are fighting this fire with this A foam while they're setting up this B foam with the inductor system. It's buying us time. We got another tool in this toolbox. Or if you don't want to do that, put two separate foam systems on the truck. If you got the money to be able to do that, that will eliminate the problem of getting it mixed up. And I guarantee you will cut out probably 70, 80, 90% of your problems with a two foam system going into a valve.